Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here, as you guys can see up on the screen. Today I want to talk a little bit about Mullen Automotive Incorporated. This is ticker symbol MULN for those of you that don't know. And today was just a flat-out great day for Mullen. Obviously, at the open, we opened a little bit green and kind of had a nice little run-up. We went red as a lot of the market went red. The major indices all kind of were tanking. Cryptocurrency was tanking. Everything was not having such a great day. But then, towards the end of the day, the entire market started to turn around, and Mullen did that in an even bigger way than the rest of the market. Mullen turned around. It turned around fast. I mean, from the intraday lows to where we ended up closing at was up almost 12%, which is a really crazy run up and a really crazy day. But still, overall, being up 7.84% in the day is great. Yes, after hours we are down 2.73%, but still, even when you factor that in, still a huge day for Mullen. And so much is going to change over the weekend. So much is going to change into Monday morning. I'm not reading into the after hours movement all that much. And then when we take a look at the broader market, like I said, where these indices did end up closing at today, Dow Jones was just barely in the green. S&P was just barely in the green. NASDAQ was down over 0.25%, and the Russell was down 0.17%. So the major indices were mostly flat. Yes, there was a lot of volatility in between, but where we closed was pretty close to where we started the day. So for Mullen to be outperforming the major indices is great in and of itself, but also to be outperforming them in a major way. Everything was flat and you're up 8%. That's a huge day. That's a home run. That's a slam dunk. And if you can start to get, a couple of those in a row, a couple of good days, weeks, months in a row, that's how you can really, start going crazy. But in this video today, we're going to be going over all the latest from Mullen, getting you guys up to date. So definitely drop a like if you do enjoy it. I would appreciate that a ton. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. And of course, as always, there's not going to be any financial advice in this video. I'm not telling you guys to buy or sell anything, nothing like that. Just going over some posts, some news articles, giving my thoughts and opinions. So with that being said, let's get right into this one. So this ends overall what was a pretty good week for Mullen. Yes, we are down from our kind of intra-week highs where we were at $1.20, but still overall, we started the week at $1.03. We're ending the week at $1.10, up 6.8%, and that is very good to see, especially, again, we're year-to-date, we're down 81%. In the past month, we're down 21%, so to have a green week is a very good thing, and it's going to have some people saying, hey, maybe we hit a bottom, maybe things are turning around, maybe not even just Mullen, but maybe in general, the market's going to be turning around, because are things just going to keep being red? Are things just going to get worse forever? Are we just going to keep having one of these statistically worst starts to a year we've ever had ever? Is that just going to keep happening? Like, no, eventually it's going to turn around. Maybe it's now, maybe it's soon, maybe it's not soon, but there will be a bottom eventually. So obviously this is going to have some people talking about that. Some of the biggest news we had for Mullen today was this. Mullen announces the hiring of Richard Curtis to president of international operations. This is from Yahoo Finance. Curtis will oversee all international operations for Mullen Automotive with a focus on existing company partnerships and new business opportunities for Mullen's line of EVs. Again, this is him, Richard Curtis, president of international operations. Mullen, an emerging EV manufacturer, announces today the hiring of Richard Curtis to president of international operations of Mullen Automotive. Prior to joining Mullen, Curtis was the president of Imperium Motor Company. Prior to Imperium Motor Company, he served as a turnaround specialist for Lithia Automotive Group in 3 Western states. He also served as director of EVs for the largest privately owned dealer group in Northern California, which became the top volume EV seller for the Nissan Leaf, Fiat 500 EV, and the Chevy Volt in the U.S. at the time. So obviously he has a lot of prior experience with EVs, with a lot of big companies. It seems like he's been pretty successful bouncing around previously. So, hey, hopefully and possibly he'll be able to come into Mullen and do some really cool, exciting things. Richard has tremendous experience throughout Asia and will be key to expanding our presence there and beyond, says David Mishry, CEO and chairman of Mullen Automotive. His 35 years plus of automotive experience working with large dealer groups and international OEMs bring a level of global expertise that will be a central factor in growing our EV business around the world. Now, this is interesting. It could be very exciting. It could be great news. It seems, like I said, it seems like this is a guy with a wealth of experience. It seems like he's been pretty good, pretty successful in a couple different places that he has been. So that's awesome. He could definitely join the Mullen team and be a very productive member, a person who adds a ton of value to the company and, kind of in proxy of that adds a ton of value to the stock, potentially. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into an individual stock value in the short and long term. But then there's like the bull side that's like, oh wow, this is awesome. We're going to have a president of international operations and a good one at that. This is really going to be awesome for Mullen. They already have all these great domestic plans, but now they're going to start expanding, into Asia, China, all these different big markets over there, South Korea, everything that's going on. That's going to be awesome. That's just going to broaden the potential for Mullen. This is going to be great. But then there's the other side of things that's like, hold up. How in the heck at this stage of things is Mullen already talking about their growth and existing partnerships and expanding internationally and going into Asia when they don't really even have a presence in North America yet? Like, I think that it would make much more sense to start expanding and to start throwing a ton of money into, hiring and all this stuff into international markets after you've already been wildly successful in the United States, after you've already been wildly successful domestically, or maybe not even once you've already been wildly successful, but once you've even been somewhat successful in the United States. Like, for some people, I think this is going to be too much too fast and maybe kind of stretching or spreading yourself a little too thin, and maybe even a little too risky. And if you have kind of errors and if you make poor decisions, it's going to go bad, and you're going to be juggling a lot of different things here. And again, it could be great. It could be a home run. It could mean, you're going to be dominant here and there, or it could mean you're going to strike out double, and lose twice the money and have twice the disasters. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to find out. I kind of see this as like a big risk, big reward play, because we've seen companies try to do too much too soon. Sometimes it works out amazingly, but it also can work out bad. Spreading internationally isn't always the right move for every company at every single moment. So I don't know. Obviously, I know Mullen has been in a couple different places and stuff like that, but I don't know. I just worry for them. In my opinion, it could be a little too much, a little too soon, but I could also see, people being excited about this as well. Obviously, on the Mullen, MULN subreddit, people are saying, hey, shit's about to get real. People are saying, what does this mean? It means we should believe more in the company. Everyone has been a little doubtful about the company, but these recent news confirm one thing: the company is legit. And I don't think it confirms that the company is legit. I think it adds more to the legitimacy of the company, getting big name people like this, getting people who have been successful in the industry. But again, you're not going to know the company is legit until they start producing a ton of vehicles, and those vehicles, actually stand the test of time and pass the test and have really high scores and do really well, and customers are happy with them. That's when the company is going to be legit. But a lot of these hirings and stuff, they do kind of add legitimacy to the company. So that is cool, and that's definitely some good news. I saw this post as well: reasons why we cannot go up. This guy says he has witnessed recently that the company keeps diluting shares to raise capital. This is something we talked about in my video yesterday. After several recent good news and more institutions on board, such as Vanguard, Bank of Montreal, Bank of America, Jane Street, the stock has been down since the last time we've gone up due to FOMO about Q2 earnings. The stock is not a short squeeze play, but is a long-term hold, because I see shorts only take up small percentage and more people decide to buy and hold. Our day will come, and it comes when good news is out and the company stops diluting. And a lot of people agree with this. Yes, the dilution, especially recently, from this company has not been great. It is eating into all the gains. Every time the company has a run up, they dilute more, and it kind of wipes out your shareholders that are actually believing in you and actually putting their money in and putting their money where their mouth is. Now, that sucks. Yes, I do agree that, hey, the good day for the stock is going to come when they stop diluting, but the question is when and if they're going to stop diluting. Who knows? And that's kind of one of the big risks. I mean, there's obviously a risk of how successful is Mullen going to be, how much growth is there going to be, how much money are they going to make, but then also, yes, you absolutely have to factor in that share dilution, because that is directly taken away from your gains. But the person does make an interesting point. And then just talking about the short interest and all that stuff. This is the Ortex from this morning, where the short interest went up 0.12%, getting us to a current short interest percent to 16.03%. So yeah, a lot of people are saying, hey, this isn't really a short squeeze play. The kind of the shorting isn't that insane on Mullen stock right now. And I would generally agree with that. I think there is a potential of, if this thing really, I think in either direction, if this thing runs up, they could short it because they think it starts to become overvalued, or if it crashes down, they could short it and just try to short it into the ground. So it's a potential short candidate, I'm sure, at any time in the future, just because there are so many detractors and so many people who are very, very against the stock. But yeah, as of right now, there's not a ton of shorting going on with Mullen. And then people talking about this needing mental help on Mullen. They say they're a Mullen stock supporter. They're holding long-term $50K worth of Mullen. The problem is I caught the bottom, only to regret that, dang, around one is truly the solid bottom. And, you know, people, there's a lot of doom and gloom in the market right now. There's a lot of people getting sad and depressed and, you know, beating themselves up over terrible mistakes they made and all that. Like, look at the broader market. The broader market's getting absolutely destroyed. Nowhere's been safe. SPY's down. NASDAQ's down. Apple's down. Amazon's down. Everything is down. There really has not been a good place. Now, yes, there are some worse places than others, and Mullen being down 81% of the year is not necessarily great. But like the comments say here, you know, if you believe in the company long term, if you believe in the story, if you believe in everything they have going on, and you are investing an amount of money that you can afford to lose, and you know, kind of investing responsibly, as many people would say, then the short-term price fluctuations don't matter too much. I would say the only two reasons that short-term price fluctuations would matter is if you're investing an amount of money that means too much to you, or if you're investing in a company that you don't totally believe in the long-term growth story of. And I would say if either of those things are true, then maybe you should reevaluate things altogether. But yeah, that's kind of where we are at. Nothing's changed long-term from Mullen. You know, if you believe in the story, then hey, none of this should matter all that much. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about MULN. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hope to catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.